Well, it's been 6 months. I figured that's just about the absolute longest somebody should wait before actually following through with something. Although the primary reason for me not wanting to do a development diary was because of the amount of work that goes into it, there is something to be said about the actual lack of progress I have to show off. But enough about me being a pity-driven sad sack. Let's get into the game itself. Immediately, you probably notice something drastically different with Vinci Game. It's nowhere near as offensive to your sense of sight. Now, there are a couple things at work that make this transformation possible: post-processing effects and a change in art style. Believe it or not, the former was actually much simpler thanks to Unity and their free post-processing stack asset. Unbeknownst to me, my game was an install and a few button clicks away from looking exponentially better. I won't talk extensively on the subject because I'm clearly ignorant about it, but I would like to issue a thank you towards Brackeys for the tutorial on how to get it up and running. The new art style was a challenge for a number of reasons, the most obvious being I have artistic talent akin to that of a grade schooler doodling with their non-dominant hands. However, when it came down to it, performance was also a huge setback for improving the aesthetic of Vinci Game. As you've probably recognized, most objects in Vinci Game are voxelized, for lack of a better term. Essentially, they are 3D meshes built from sprite data. Without getting too technical, they used to be built per pixel, using the color of each individual pixel as vertex color data for the mesh. Obviously, this was incredibly inefficient, so after a few days of hair pulling, and yes, even uncontrollable sobbing, I transformed my old voxelized script into one that finds the least amount of rectangles that fit into a rectilinear polygon through a method known as rectangular decomposition. In addition, it no longer uses vertex color data, instead adopting texture coordinates as its method of coloring the mesh. I wouldn't have even known where to begin to accomplish this, so I'd like to thank Richard Vasquez for his open source C# implementation that I modified into what I have today. To give an idea as to how many vertices this saves, here's a mesh generated using my old method, and here's one using my new one. As a result, now I can use sprites of much larger resolution than I ever could have before, at little to no cost to performance. On top of just saving vertices, the objects created using the new voxelized script have another added bonus. They take advantage of Unity's dynamic batching. Now I won't go into detail, but essentially, if two objects share a material, the draw call for both objects can be batched together, ultimately saving frames. Once I fixed the performance issue of having larger sprites, I was able to theoretically create bigger and better art for the game. Unfortunately, that wasn't exactly feasible because of the aforementioned reason. However, as a placeholder, I was able to sort of fake it. Thanks to the following free programs: Graphic Scale for making low-res sprites, Image Resizer for scaling them intelligently, and Shoebox for packing them into a sprite sheet, I now have an extremely convoluted way of creating passable artwork. Before I wrap this up, I'd like to at least gloss over a few of the features I've changed or re-implemented to sort of tease what's to come. Text boxes have been completely overhauled, so let's see what Zeta has to say. I honestly don't know what I expected. Option selection also received some love. Plus, not only has Callahan's cigar and Maze's shuriken been improved, it looks like Vinci's been brushing up on his Latin. Jokes aside, next time we'll probably be looking at the pause menu or the combat system, but for now, here's a sneak peek of both. That should just about cover it for the first episode. I know that this video was a short one, but I can already tell that these are going to take a long time to produce between actually working on the game and editing together the video. That being said, they'll probably be few and far between, but hopefully not 6 months again. Anyway, please let me know if you like it so far and if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching.